Hello, I'm Dr. Patrick Hwu, CEO of Moffitt Cancer Center, and we're coming to you from Washington, D.C. We're at the 2025 SITC annual meeting. I'm here with Dr. Greg Sawyer, our leader of engineering at Moffitt Cancer Center. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Patrick.
Well, you know, you've done so much in bringing engineering in with cancer research, and one of the things that you've done is really shown us that by looking at interactions of the immune cells and cancer cells, you can learn a lot. You know, with your Nikon Center of Excellence, talk about observing immune cells killing cancer cells and what you're learning.
No, absolutely, and I think you're seeing it across this whole conference today. It's really amazing the amount of imaging technology that has been coming in the last few years to help us understand how these immune cells interact with cancer cells in order to eliminate cancer cells. And we're watching how they engage, how they migrate, how they crawl, how they create little openings in the cell membranes to inject enzymes to basically trigger this cell death process called apoptosis. And I think it's such an exciting time for the field because AI, advanced imaging, super resolution, it's all coming together to really make this possible. It's giving us some of our first looks at the dynamics of how immunotherapies are actually working on cancer cells.
So that's really exciting, and no one's really looked that closely at the physical properties of how an immune cell kills a cancer cell. From that, what are things that we might learn that will help us generate better immunology responses in cancer patients?
Yeah, I think that there are going to be some opportunities. One of the things that was at least surprising to me is how different all of the immune cells were. We'd see some that really behave like super soldiers. They seem to attack, move on, attack, move on, attack, move on. We see others that seem to engage, but take their time, don't really disengage very quickly. And now we've built little robotic tools that allow us to pick up different cells and try to ask very fundamental questions about what makes them different. And I think if we can learn some of that, there could be a day where you don't need hundreds of millions of cells as a dose, but maybe tens of thousands of the right cells to eliminate these tumors. These immune cells are very powerful, but there's also a very big spectrum of behaviors that we're seeing.
That's exciting. So if you can see in the immune population, there's some that are super soldiers, some that are a little lazier. You can go in there, pick out the super soldiers, so once you learn what makes them super soldiers, you can make a whole army of all super soldiers.
Perhaps, and I think it is really a combined arm situation. We may not know what those other cells are doing. It may be that they are communicating back and forth and they're all needed. But I think that, you know, it's an exciting field. There's been so many breakthroughs over the past 15 years, but there's still so many breakthroughs to come. And I think that was really something you take out of this meeting. It was
Wonderful.
Incredible.
I think when you bring the sciences together, immunologists with engineers, one of the things I've learned from you is that sometimes just by looking, if you have really great microscopes and looking over time, you learn a lot that you wouldn't have with other assays.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is asking the right questions. And I think that we're all very visual, we all have intuitions, we all have mental models of how we think dynamics play out. But when you see dynamics play out, you can put the timescales on it. Sometimes you ask new questions. And I think those new questions may lead to new breakthroughs.
Well, so fun. Well, Dr. Greg Sawyer, Head of Engineering at Moffitt Cancer Center.
Thank you, Dr. Hwu.